Okay. So this is just for clarity, this is class number 8 for those of you who are counting. So 8, 9, and 10. We've got 3 more, and then we have a week off, and then the next series of 8 begins, which will be different. That course or those classes will be focused on the 3 different types of Qigong. So, and that's Qigong, which is cultivation of life force energy, and Neigong, which is all these internal practices having to do with the organs and the mind and the different ways to move energy in the body. That's Neigong. And then the last one is Shengong, which is spiritual Qigong. And there is another one beyond that, which Tricia told me about, but didn't know. And her teacher, Lo Pei-Zheng, said, all I teach, he was very old. And this was a long time ago in the mid-60s. And he was old in the mid-60s. And he said, all I teach is Daogong. So if you're familiar with Taoist practices, he had done all 3 of those types of Qigong and rolled it into something that he called Daogong. But I don't know what that is. Sorry. Maybe one of you will discover it. Then you can tell me. That would be great. Anyway, so that's the next series of classes, which will go through May. It'll be most of April and then all of May, and then done for the summer, and then I'll start again in the fall. Okay. So we did the 6 elements, and now we're going to integrate a lot of those teachings in a non-linear fashion. And I just want to begin with a teaching that Tricia, you gave to beginning students. And we're all beginning students. I'm a beginning student. And I never forgot it. So it's like this. It's body language. Okay. So what she said is, it's a country western song. Okay. Your spouse has left you. You're drunk. Your dog died, and you're homeless. Take the posture of that person. Stand the way or sit the way that person in that situation, how they would look. Just take that posture. Okay. Everyone looks the same. Okay. Everyone is drooped down, their heads down, they look weak. And that's the embodiment of that situation. Okay. And then she said, okay, forget that. Now, you're deeply in love with your spouse. You just found out you're pregnant. You both got raises at your jobs and you won the lottery. Now take the posture of the person in that situation. You just found out it's $10 million. Take the posture. What do you look like? Right. So this is body language. And she had us do these because the posture and position and movement of the body communicates our inner life. Hmm? And it also, and this is the key, influences our inner life. Hmm? influences our inner life. So Thich Nhat Hanh says, when we're happy, we smile. Duh, right? When we're happy, we smile. And if we smile, we feel happy. Hmm? This is profound. This is profound. So if we just pay attention and have awareness of our body, our posture, how it feels, how it moves, that will have a profound influence on our inner life. And that will have a profound influence on everybody around us. And this is how the world evolves, just like this. So in Qigong, it starts with body awareness and seeing how that affects, in Qigong, how it affects our energy, our vital energy. In Neigong, how it affects our balance and alignment internally in terms of our health, and in terms of balancing yin and yang, earth and heaven. And in Shengong, it determines the depth of our spiritual practice. So it seems like a no-brainer, and at its best, it is. Okay. Okay. So thank you, Tricia. I've never forgotten that teaching. It was over 30 years ago. So let's start with uh, what are called warm-ups. I don't call them warm-ups because they're Qigong. Okay. But start with standing always. Or sitting. Sitting is fine. If you need to sit at any time, sit. That's fine. Okay. And something came up last week that I really want you to understand. Qigong and forms of Qigong utilize a lot of visualization. And for some of us, that's like, wow, great. I can do that. And other people really don't have a lot of capacity for visualizing just because that's how their mind works. Maybe they're attuned, verbally, or they're tuned spatially, or they're attuned aesthetically. There's different ways, okay? So when the instruction is to feel, to imagine or visualize, okay, if you're one of those 20% of the population who don't visualize easily, what I always say is feel and imagine. I don't just say imagine. I say feel and imagine. And the most important thing is the feeling. The visualization is a useful, should we say, vehicle for moving into that practice. But eventually the visualization vanishes and it's just the feeling. So it's the feeling that's important. Okay. I should have mentioned that at the beginning, but I didn't. So we'll stand, and this is not martial arts. In martial arts, you stand in a certain way. This is, how are you standing today? How are you standing right now? Okay. And it may be a little different each time. So this is the yin and yang of an upright posture and a relaxed body. So let's start with the upright posture and feel and imagine this vertical light or line of light, laser beam, or going up through the body. So we can imagine that and we can feel it. We want to be aligned with it. And that often means dropping the chin a little, opening up the back of the neck. And it often means relaxing the shoulders. And the fastest, easiest way I know to do that is let's just do this. Just lift them up so they're real tense. And now let's let them down. So that's very effective. So as the body relaxes, the elbow will naturally bend just a tiny bit, and the wrist also. The belly will be very, very open, very relaxed. And then just feel free to move and to adjust your posture, because you will sometimes get out of alignment a little bit, and then you need to bring it back. It's not like you assume the posture and now you're made of steel. It's you're flexible, you're relaxed. And if you want to, here's a feel and imagine. Imagine your body is um, very, 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 very tall. It goes way down into the earth to the center, and it goes way, way, way up into the sky. It's very, very, very tall. So you can imagine that and feel it. You can, when you imagine it, you can feel this uplift and this downward, uh, the gravity, the pull of gravity. And typically the eyes are looking about 45 degrees down in front. It's okay to close your eyes sometimes, and other times it's not. You'll fall down. Okay. Okay, very good. Good. Okay, so that's the posture. And now we can sort of let go of that. And just beginning with the head and neck, just roll the head around. And Tricia always taught that we do these movements mindfully. So, we're not like listening to something on our phone, or we're just doing this. We're just feeling this. And then as you move down, then uh, opening the back, opening the chest. The arms here are just weights. They're just heavy. If you come across a place, maybe in your neck or shoulder, that's tight, let's say it's on the side of your neck, you just stay there. And if she would even say, place your hand on your head if you want to, and gently stretch it out. And if you wait in that posture for 30 seconds or so, eventually whatever's tight will just let go. It'll just release by itself. So if you don't find any tight places, that's good. But if you do, So, and we don't need to do this every day. We don't have to do it frequently, but if we do it at least once a week, it will enable us to retain that flexibility. So use it or lose it, I guess. Okay, good. Um, and now just moving down. So now we'll be one with the breath. And the hands, you can touch the back of the hands together if you want to, or leave them separate a little bit, whatever feels better. And the image here is as if laser beams of light are going into the body from the fingers. And it's sort of circling this light from the heart through the arms, the fingers, and back into the heart. Okay. And maybe sit down a little bit for this one. And so then with the in breath, and look up. Good. Out breath. My teacher, Gabrielle Byers, used to call this wake up and go to sleep. So another way is alert and relaxed. So here we're harmonizing the movements with our breath. And the breath, by definition, is universal life force energy because the breath moves through all living things. So if we're in harmony with the movement of the breath, we're in harmony with all that is. It's transpersonal. Or if you like, if it's personal, it's our consciousness. We're conscious of the breathing. If it's transpersonal, we're one with the awareness of the breath, which is moving through all beings. We're taking the point of view sort of the breath. So if we're the breath, we're coming and going through all these different bodies. So that's awareness. If we take the point of view of this body, this being, this breath, that's consciousness. And with these movements, consciousness would be the folding in, pointing to the body. Awareness would be the opening out, particularly the hands and the eyes. Our concentration is internal, very internal, and then it's very big. And our point of view can change. We take the point of view of the breath, the universal breath. It's an expanded awareness. Hey, very good. Very good. You can do this sitting too. This can be part of your sitting meditation, particularly when you first sit down. It's the same thing. Okay, let's do just two more. Okay, very good. Right. And then we just touch into this standing just for a moment. Good. Okay. Now, hip flexibility, very important in Tai Chi and also very important in life, particularly living in a state where there's ice on the ground. Okay. So placing one hand in the lower dantian, the other behind it, directly behind it, and just rock the pelvis. Just you can literally move it with your hands. So the thighs are still. If you can imagine sort of this pelvic girdle rests on the tops of the femurs of the thigh bones that have balls on the top. So we're sort of rocking this on those 2 points. Okay. And then this is compressing and extending the lower spine. If you have pain doing this, then just do it gently or don't do it. If you just have a little tightness, definitely do this. Okay, very good. All right. And then the other one, so if we're looking down on ourselves from above, we're making a circle with the hips. You have to move the legs to do this. You're making a circle. The upper body is still. And circle the other way. If you do this once a week, it truly can increase your balance a lot. Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. Okay. And then moving down again. So drop into our standing posture. Now, if you can feel and visualize this vertical line, it goes right between the feet, goes out the perineum and between the feet. So we're going to shift to one side, bend the knee just a little, and sink down. Now that line moves to directly over that foot. And the unweighted foot, the heel then comes up. So that we're standing, it's the same standing posture, but it's on one foot. Okay. So when the heel's up, the toe is on the ground. And check that your body isn't leaning. Check that you need hip flexibility for this. Check that you're still straight up and down. Okay. And if you want to, you can lift the foot if you feel stable enough. Okay. And then back to center. And then keep going. And when you feel all the weight on that foot, let that heel come up. And you'll be a little steadier if you bend the knee. Right. So if you want to include the hands. So the hands are fun, but the main thing is just feeling comfortable on that one foot, and having the toe on the ground is perfectly fine. Check that your body is vertical. Really good. So why is this important? Well, obviously, it keeps us from falling. But so let's come back to standing. But so remember what we did initially. So taking the posture of someone who's joyous, upright, energized, someone who's very depressed, down. If we can remain balanced physically, we're more likely to be balanced emotionally and mentally. The posture informs the internal life. Okay. So it's not just a physical activity, it's a mind body activity. Okay. So we need to feel comfortable on one foot. What if our candidate loses the presidential election? Uh-oh, we're really going to need balance, aren't we? We're really going to have to be able to be balanced mentally, physically, as a community. Hmm? So that's why we do these practices for ourselves, for our own well-being, and for the people we love. Okay. If you take a Qigong class somewhere with a teacher, they will probably teach you the 8 brocades, the 14 cranes. They'll teach you a series of movements, which is great. That's how it's taught a lot. So we're going to do a series of movements just to sort of bow to that tradition. And this is called morning Qigong, but we'll call it evening Qigong. Um, and I'll narrate this a little bit in terms of the Dharma as we go along. So begin with your standing. And there are 3 elements that we're working with. Body. I don't mean the 6 elements. I mean there are 3 aspects we're working with. Body, breath, and mind. Mind includes heart. So the posture is the body. And then check out the breath. And what's doing this is the mind. So the mind is combining with the sensations of the body and the movement of the breath. Okay. Good. So the first one, Earth's fragrance drifts up. So we're touching the thumbs, the forefingers, and if you like, the next one too. So in breath. Okay, so this is wake up, go to sleep. This is alertness, relaxation. And the movement is, this is the beginning of this series. The movement is the movement of birth. Earth's fragrance drifts up. So this is like spring. This is something rising from the earth. It's the in breath. So in the Taoist teaching, we're we're starting with the ancestral chi or the chi of the earth, and we're raising it up through the body to the heart. Okay. So from the earth up through the lower dantian in the belly, middle dantian in the heart. And as it rises, this earth's fragrance, it becomes finer. So this is very appropriate. It's almost the solstice or the equinox, excuse me. So this is a movement of spring or morning. That's why it's morning Qigong. So the poetic concept of spring in these Taoist teachings, spring is freshness, vitality. Okay, good. All right, very good. Now, when the fingers are touching, just feel how that feels. Okay, let's just do one more. Good. Now, the next one is more subtle. This is sunrise on the horizon. Now, in this one, you don't touch the fingers, but you feel them. You feel the opposite finger. So this is the sun. So in breath, one, up to the heart, out breath, in breath, out breath. And then repeat. One, two, three, four. And no stopping. One, constant movement. Two, three, four. Breath, breath. From sunrise, this energy comes up, spreads out. Now, concentrating and dispersing. One, two, three, four. Two, three, four. Okay. So we're expressing with the body the movement of the rising of this energy, the sun. This is also happening internally. As we come up, the sun rises inside the body, comes to the heart, radiates out in all directions, comes back, and goes down through the body into the earth. So normally we're focusing on the hands, and that's good. At the same time, there's another level of this. So let's just go back to beginning here. All right. Okay. So as the sun, we form the sun. We're focused on the hands and also internally on the belly. As we come up, it's rising up inside the body. The sun is rising inside the body to the heart. When it reaches the heart, it extends out 360 degrees in all directions, up to out, good. Then we compress, then we bring all of that, concentrate that back into the heart, and then down the body, down the legs, and down, excuse me, into the earth. Okay? So focusing on the hands, very good. Okay, and focusing now on the hands and inside the body. This is the Qigong, inside the body. It's coming up, the sun is rising right in the body, right to the heart, then radiating out of the heart, out of the top of the head, out of the hands, all directions, back into the body, okay? And back down inside the body, down the legs, down to the earth. Okay, so why do we do this? Because then there's no separation between inside and outside. So this is the Buddhist teaching of non-self or interbeing. If we're just focusing on this body, just the hands and so on, that's fine. And then the next level is internal. The internal becomes the external becomes the internal. Simple movement. When you add the mind to the body and the breath, that's when it all becomes unified. Okay, very good. Good. Okay. Next one, separating the clouds, parting the clouds. So we don't touch again. So palms are facing, forearms are facing. We watch this go up, 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 up. When we're stretching here, and then turn the hands back to back, and then come back down. Okay, parting the clouds. So this is very poetic. So we're rising up, 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 and we're extending the hands, the body becomes very tall so that we can reach up through the clouds, and we turn the hands. We separate the clouds so the light of the sun or the moon or the universe can come down and fill the whole body. It's a very profound practice. So the Buddhist teaching is that each one of us is the Buddha, the light of consciousness, universal consciousness is within us. All we have to do is part the clouds of confusion, and then we're one with this sort of cosmic being, the Buddha within. So this is the path, this is the practice. Extend way, way, way up. Feel, what would it feel like to be miles high? And then part that. And just for a moment, all there is that light. This is a slow movement. And with the breath, once you turn the hands, and you're ready to part the clouds, then that will be an out breath. So you can maintain this posture until you're ready to breathe out. So parting the clouds is an out breath. Okay, good. So, and the body fills with this light from above. So before it was filling with this light from below. And then with this one, it's filling with light from above. Okay, good. Let's do one more. So feel and imagine. Good. All right. In the poetic descriptions, so dew, the dew on the ground, is the embodiment of freshness. So freshness is vitality. It's life force energy. It's new life. And rainbow light is healing light. So if you come to the next course, each organ is a different color. It's related to a different color. And so when you bring in rainbow light, it affects all the organs and it sort of brings this healing to the body. So this one is called washing the body with rainbow dew. Okay. So if you turn to your right, let's say turn to your right or your, I don't, it doesn't matter. Turn to one side and then let that hand come straight up and it's going to come right over your head and then down. Okay. Just let's do that again. So turn to one side. So this is in breath. The finger points to the body, up over the head, and then down. Good. And now to the other side. So in this one. Okay, and so what we're doing here um, is bringing up the rainbow dew of the earth and washing the body with it. Okay. All right, now we're bringing the other hand, so turn back the other way. Same thing, but the second hand comes up too. It doesn't come up as high, it only comes to the heart area and then comes back down. So one hand is coming up the center of the body, the other's going all over the top of the head. This one often has, for me, has a musical quality to it. So we can visualize, but we can also do the same thing with sound. So there's kind of this, what Trisha, you called the inner flute. So the inner flute starts low at the bottom, low notes, and then goes to higher notes. Is the inner flute. So maybe if visualization isn't great for you, maybe the inner flute works. Okay. Let's do one more on each side. Okay, now we've gathered and moved a lot of chi, and it may be too much of a good thing. And if that's the case, you want to release. Okay. So you just get out of the shower and you kind of go like this. That's what it is. You just release. This is actually taught as a movement, and the formal one is like this. Okay. That's a super big release. Okay. And if you've just had a toxic experience, do that a few times. Normally, we're not needing to do it that much. So you can just gently, you know, and, people look at me funny. Sometimes I'll just do this. I'm just walking around somewhere. I'll just do this because it's a release. It's just a release. But it's an abbreviation for that. There's a lot of releases, actually, which we won't go into right now, but there's a lot of ways to release chi. And I'm hoping that you remember this when you really feel bad, when you've gotten some news or something's happened and you just want to release it, then release it. Release it physically. Remember, the the physical body affects the internal mood, right? And if you're partaking of news, I highly recommend this. So, but it can be anything. It can just be, I go into prison a lot. Get out of the prison, you know? And we teach that to the guys in the prison. You don't have to be out, you be in there. So that's just a release. So washing the body with rainbow dew, everything is beautiful, whatever. Now we're just going to release. Okay. The Tibetan sand paintings. Do you know what I'm talking about? They make these intricate with colored grains of sand. It takes them weeks. And then they just dump it in the river. So that's the release. So you create this beautiful thing and then you release it because you don't want to get stuck in it. Okay. So flipping away the fog. That's called flipping away the fog. Now, all of this was preparatory to the next set of movements, which are the most ancient that I know, other than Trembling Mountain. These are the most ancient and fundamental movements in Qigong. The process is we're going to collect the chi of the earth. That is the unrefined chi, just the stuff of life of the earth. We're going to collect it and we're going to bring it up and put it into the lower dantian, to our field here, our basket that holds this energy. And this is the ancestors here. So we're bringing up the earth energy to the lower dantian. This is a meditation posture. So it's as if there's a ball of light in the middle of the body and the hands are resting on it. And then they move with the breath. But that ball of light we've brought up from the earth, and in bringing it up from the earth, it moves from coarse to more fine because it's in the body. Okay, we're going to do that 4 times, and then we move some of that energy up to the heart where it becomes even finer. Becomes even finer. And we do that 3 times, and then we'll go up from there. Okay, so this is the fundamental sort of ability of the human being is to process this gross energy and make it into fine, something fine. Okay. So with the out breath, we're going to do it's like a backwash. We'll bend the knees and the waist and feel and imagine picking up this ball, like a beach ball or something, a ball of light, and putting it into the body and the belly. Okay, this is warm, glowing, loving light that's now in the belly, below the navel. Okay, very good. Now we'll repeat. We'll do this 3 more times. It gets lighter as it comes up and it merges with the body. And 2 more times. Now this time, rather than focusing on the hands, feel and imagine as this comes up, it's coming up inside the body. From the feet into the belly. Very good. Last one. We're bringing it up with the hands. Also, we're bringing it up with our mind, up through the body. There. Embracing the womb of life. Okay, now there's this glowing orb of energy in the belly. Okay, awakens the connection with the ancestors. Okay, and then when you're ready to dip the knees and bring some of that up into the heart, where it becomes even finer. We'll do that 2 more times. So the hands end internally. Very good. 1 more time. So this is, in just these motions, this is similar to, say, growing potatoes from the earth, eating the potatoes, and writing poetry. So the potatoes, the earth becomes the potatoes become the poetry. See, because the energy becomes more refined. Okay, good. And dipping the knees. So bring the hands up, and we're raising our attention inside the body, lighting up the brain, the upper dantian, lighting up the brain, and then extending up, 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 up. Okay, embracing the column of light, earth to heaven, body. This is the most refined. Okay. And then separating the arms and coming back down. Right. So flying cranes. The cranes are coming back. I heard one yesterday. And remember that the cranes smile when they're flying so they can show their teeth. So the cranes are a very refined movement, very, very big, open, very flowing. Okay, good. Okay, let's reduce the movements. Okay, and then just drop into the posture. And just notice sensations in the body. Notice the mood. Okay, very good. Okay, take a few more breaths. All right, very good. So we'll dedicate the merit of the practice. So we dedicate the merit of this practice to the liberation of all beings. May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings everywhere be free. Thank you for your practice. Okay, and then we remove glasses and we'll clap one time all together. Ready? 1, 2. And you know what to do. So just massage your face and relax all the little muscles there. And when you're ready, make soft fists. Have your kidneys. Actually, Chunyi Lin bends over when he does this. Guess that's optional. And then massage your kidneys. Okay. Well, thank you all for your presence, for your practice, and on YouTube, on Zoom. So, see you in a week or before. Have a good night. Drive carefully.